Let me ask you a question. Case study.
Yes.
We found out yesterday Conor McGregor is not fighting UFC 200.
Yeah.
Who knows what happened? Pulled out. He's going to retire. Dana says we're moving on. Whatever. Let's say that tomorrow you got the call from Conor McGregor and he said, I actually cut a deal with Dana. I'm going to defend my 45-pound belt. I'm up here in Iceland with Gunny right now. I'm at 175. He's probably at 180.
Yeah.
UFC 200, I think, is in July, right? So give us about 3 months. Mike, I want you.
Yeah.
You got 3 months.
Yeah.
What do you do?
I set up a 3-day meeting with Conor first. Now, I've been around him quite a few times. I know John Kavanaugh rather well. I like those guys. They're good guys.
Awesome.
I set up 3 days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, essentially, with the athlete, convenient time, where I live with them. I shadow them. You know, I spare bedroom in their house, sleep on the couch if I have to. I'm a little old to do that, but you know, I still do such things. And we breathe the same air, and I see if we can get along as men, as humans. Forget coach-athlete relationship. Can we get along? Do I like you? Can I fully commit to you? Can I invest my life, my passion, my emotion completely in you? And do you have the moral and ethics that I need to truly get behind and stand shoulder to shoulder through thick and thin? No matter what happens, win or lose, I'm going to be there because I love you. That's how I am. I'm at that level with my athlete. I respect you so much. I will go through it. I will leave my family, my beautiful daughter. I will commit to doing that only to a select few human beings that are worthy as men and women. And that I don't care about their accolades or how much money they have or what part of the card they're on at this point. Can I help this human improve their life, achieve their goals? Do I respect this human enough to give up that time and give up the attention of the other 7 billion humans on the planet whose life I'm trying to change also? So we spend that time together, but also it allows me to understand, will this athlete now respect and listen to me as a coach? Will we have that relationship that I can truly help them? Because there's athletes out there that wanted to hire me just to say, hey, I'm working with Dolce, and offered me, you know, big checks to do so. You won't listen to me. I know for a fact, you know, which is one of the reasons why I left Hendricks after the second Robbie fight. You're not going to listen to me. You know what? I'm out. Kind of have fun. A guy like Conor, I believe he is that type of athlete because he's a winner, and he's a good guy. I knew him. I met him initially when he fought in Boston. I think Max Holloway. He was the nicest, most respectful. He called me coach and sir. In those days, he's not that much younger than me. I mean, coach and sir. And when I see him today, multi-millionaire, completely different, calls me coach and sir still. That type of respect. So an athlete like Conor is a rare type of person to do what he's done. But again, we spend those 3 days together or so. We make sure we fit, and I breathe there. I live their life. I get in their car. I drive with them back and forth to the gym. You know, I look at their refrigerator, their pantry, their stove. I see how worn their cooking implements are. You know, I can tell their favorite spatula. I can start to analyze and break down where I can help. I troubleshoot their life. I can help with those things, kind of the sights, the sounds, the noises, the music that they listen to. It allows me to get in their head a little bit, understand their process, so I can improve their process. All the athletes, all the people we work with, I don't force my style onto them. What I do is I come in and I help kind of fill in the cracks that they have and institute the principles that we know, the universal principles of self-improvement. Whatever part of their life, it just so happens he's a professional fighter, we help those areas, but I believe through our influence, we're able to help them in other areas of life also, because your home life with your family has an impact on your performance in the octagon. Your financial state has an impact of your performance on the octagon. Your, self-dialogue, the music you listen to, the TV shows that you watch, all have an impact, whether you realize it or not. So I kind of analyze that, and I start to, depending on the athlete, use different means to introduce those suggestions. And that becomes kind of the psychological side of how I interact. Each athlete's different, but it allows me to better understand how I can do that. Some athletes you kind of have to lead to water. Other athletes you just have to push.
That's heavy stuff. That's big stuff. That's not just about nutrition. That's not about workouts. That's big picture, isn't it?
That's yeah. And your first question is like, why are we different, or why are we, regarded the way we are? It's because of that. It's not because of the protein carb fat ratio. It's not because of that. It's not about the food. it's everything else. That's truly what matters.
Now, Conor's been walking around now 170 plus now for a couple months.
Yeah.
To get him down to that 45, it was always a little bit of a tricky cut for him because he's a tall guy. Anything you would do there specifically, or anything extra you have to think about? Is that a big cut for you?
No, that's easy for us. I mean, it's easy. I mean,
Mike's talking about 20 or 25% of someone's body weight, and that's easy for
that's
us.
easy for us.
And they have to perform at the highest level of any human will perform in this world 24 hours later.
Absolutely. I guarantee if Conor followed our program, he would probably eat twice the calories he'd ever eaten during a training camp. He would be eating real food. Making weight would be extremely easy. He wouldn't have to resort to those nasty methods that he's used in the past that I'm aware of. He would rehydrate at a much more efficient rate, and he would have much better, more consistent performances. Everything about the process with us is consistent. We know exactly what they're going to weigh on what day, how it's going to be all the way through. I know exactly how much weight they'll lose each minute of our process. So most of what we do is very, soft manipulation. We don't do the hard manipulation. And I'm an advocate. We've proven it hundreds of times now. It's about feeding the athlete. We feed our athletes into the scale. We don't pull the food away. We actually push more food into the body, and the athlete is able to lose weight. And what we do is we change ratios and we manipulate the electrolytes through natural means to allow them to lose the weight. And we just allow the body to get hot enough to sweat in a low state of stress or a zero state of stress and anxiety, because people don't understand the hormonal component to getting into a scalding hot bathtub with some idiot holding a fucking blow dryer to make that hot room, tiny hot room, even hotter. There's no escape. The athlete's anxiety, their cortisol shoots through the roof. They freak out. They stop sweating, or they sweat at a much slower rate. Therefore, they have to continually repeat this terrible process. Henan Barrow has mentioned, and guys in the industry know that those poor kids were taking, in excess of 20 to 30 minute hot baths consecutively, and then they would put themselves in plastics and sweatsuits and wrap themselves in towels or in blankets in between. That's torture. If anyone's been in that, you're in a prison, a freaking prison. You're killing your athlete. You're diminishing their performance, without a doubt. Will they make weight? Yeah, they'll probably make weight. Will they perform at 100% of their ability? Absolutely not. Will they perform good enough to win? Possibly, depending on how bad the other guy messed up. And that's what happens. We eliminate all those silly variables. We focus on the science that we know works, the experience that we have, the results that we've been able to replicate for decades now. Again, it's very easy. And I think I understand the psychological side a lot better than many. And me coming up as a wrestler, I remember as a kid, early teens, our coach screaming at us, locking us in the sauna after a hard workout, because that's the way to do it, wearing plastics and sauna suits, packed into a sauna so tight, shoulder to shoulder, that I remember seeing one of the guys pass out, but we were packed in so tight he couldn't drop to the floor. So he's standing crushed, passed out, and then, everyone's making fun of him, and he would kind of pop up and wake up again and find his legs. So I went through those experiences also, plastic bags, garbage, hefty bags packed in suits. In my early days, you're shaking your head,
Yeah, I did that too when I was 17 in high school wrestling, because that's what they told us to do. Run with trash bags on until it drips the sweat.
Yeah.
And a lot of fighters talk about two fights. It's the fight that week to cut weight, and then the fight 24 hours later, basically for their life.
Yeah.
To watch the rest of this fascinating interview, click on the link below and go to LondonRealAcademy.com. There you can sign in with your social media, log in and watch the rest of the episode for free, along with all of our episodes on London Real, my webinars, and all of our premium content, all located over at LondonRealAcademy.com. So click on the link below. You'll be directed there, and you can watch the rest of this fascinating interview, and I'll see you there.